In my last video, I talked about georeferencing and how to do georeferencing in QGIS. In this video, I'll talk about digitizing. So, as the definition goes here, we are going to trace this image and create different kinds of vector data. There are many cases where we need this on-screen tracing of images to create a vector data. So this is an essential part of GIS. So let us try to learn digitizing by on-screen tracing of the image. So I have already added this georeferenced image over the canvas. Now we can see this in the layers. So to complete this digitizing exercise, we create three different types of layer: point, line, and polygon. So we know that there are three kinds of vector data, and we will create all the three kinds of vector data in this practice. So first of all, let us create a new layer by using this menu. So here we create a new layer called digitize. The file name is digitize.gpkg, and first one we will trace the buildings as points, so we keep the name as building, and then we select the geometry type and it is point, and we know that this is the image is in WGS 84 geographic coordinate system, so we can choose this we must choose this EPSC for this practice. And we can also add this new attributes if we know the name of the building or something, some attributes, but in this practice we'll skip this. So we created this and then last click OK. So now we have created this building, but there are no features in this layer. So we create new features by editing. So just click here and we add point feature and just draw a dot here, and then we get this dialog. So FID will be auto generated, and we can see that the feature is created. So now so this is we created this building point at the wrong place, so we delete this line by using this select tool and then selecting this feature and then deleting. So we learned one new thing. So delete one feature, and now we create again, we click here and create a new point by clicking on the building. So we OK, and all the buildings OK. So in this way we can go on creating new features of the buildings, and when we finish we save this one and then we finish the editing. So if we don't finish the editing, then it will be in editing mode, and for example, if we see the attribute table, it is in editing mode, we can do some error, so it is better to close this editing by clicking this tool. And this is how we create point layer in GIS. And now we create a line, create layer, and again we click this new geo package layer. However, we select the same file and we put new table name or new layer name known as road. So for example, we can add one attribute here like road name, and it is text, and maybe the length of road name can be 50. So we add the fields to list. So we have road name here, or we can write more like paved road, gravel road, etc. But for this purpose, we are going to use only one attribute. And last, we don't, we cannot, we should not forget to select the geometric type. In this case, it is line string. So click OK. So now we create a new layer, and the dialog box asks if we want to overwrite whole file or we want to create a new layer. So we are going to create only a new layer. So this is all. Now we in the similar way we create the lines. So we go on adding lines by clicking here. So I forgot to add, click this tool, and then as we go on adding the points, the line is created as shown here. And when we complete drawing line, then we just right click and we write the name of road if we know. So one road is created. So we can change the symbol so that it is visible. So let us make it somewhat red, which is clearly visible from the background of the image, and we make it a bit wide, and also label the road with road name. So apply. Now we can see that we have created this road, and the add line feature is still active, so we can again draw another line by clicking along the road. And finally we right click and write the name of this road. So we can go on creating new roads. So we can see that there are human errors when we create the roads like this. This road should join here. So this can be done, but here I am not going to explain this one. And next one, we can just click this editing tool to end the editing, and it will ask you to save. So if you think that you may forget, then you should click this save layer edits. Now we are going to create a polygon layer, and we will draw uh, land use types. So what are the land use types we are going to add are road, building, green area, and barren area. So let us uh, and we will use the number 1, 2, 3 and 4 for each type of land use. So let us start this, create a new layer and new geo package layer, and here again the same file, and we keep the name of table as land use, and we use land use ID and it is numeric, so we choose integer and add. So geometry type I always forget, so it is polygon, and then finally we click this OK and we add new layer, and now we go on adding. So first we make it editable and then add the polygon feature and go on. For example, first one we draw a barren land, so we go on clicking this area and finally we right click and then we have to write the LUID. So this time we have 4, and next let us draw a green area, this one. So you can see that this cross, because the polygon is crossing itself, so it is not correct. But when we go on drawing, the cross will disappear once the polygon is correct. So now it is finished and we click right mouse button. So this time it is 3. Now we trace a building. So let us trace this building. So we start clicking here. So we see the cross, still there is cross, still there is cross. So maybe we have done something wrong. So we can click escape, so we can redo this. Now there is no cross, so we are doing it right. So right click and LUID this time is 2. Now we will draw the road. So let us draw the road as polygon. Manually drawing the road has many limitations, but for the accuracy maybe we need to do some precaution. So now LUID is 1. So let us make the land use ID polygon categorized symbol. So symbology, and we make it categorized based on the LUID. And now so if you want to make it better, 1 is barren land, it is okay. 2 is sorry, 1 is road and number 2 is building. So building, maybe we make it different color, and green area we make it green, and barren land we can make it like gray. Apply. So, and we can also make it a bit transparent so that we can see the background. So let us make it like 50%. Then we can see that whether we have done it correct or not. Now when we draw a new polygon, we can see, for example, this is green area. So if we complete the drawing, let us say we write 2 instead of 3, then we can recognize that we have done something wrong. So we can correct it by just opening this attribute table, and this 2 should be 3. Okay. Now we can end the editing by clicking here or here. So now we save it. So FID will be auto-generated. In this way we can add features, add as many features as we want,